2.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Broken Bull, New Blue Home and Gift, Kinty, the Peruvian store, and Tupelo Tea. It's a little cool this morning, but what does that mean in September? It'll be a nice, cool night for high school football in North Georgia. I tell you what, you know, guys, you know the pet of the week I look forward to all week, but it's this time of year. You're going to have to drag me off the sideline. I will make this statement on live worldwide TV, because there's people that click
worldwide TV.
And for those people watching in California, we found we had viewers in California.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay? Yeah, we checked it out. So for those of you in California, if the good Lord is willing, we'll leave it in His hands. I will be on the sideline watching high school football every Friday night until I can't go anymore. It's just something I enjoy on Friday nights.
I'm waiting for you to get clocked again over about the 40
Thanks a lot. You do. Hey,
Jeez, did you see it coming?
Huh? No. Do you know I got? I finally got the corner of the kid.
I know. I watched it.
Oh yeah. I looked at it. And said, I've been waiting on you.
As he sheepishly sunk into his seat.
I'm sorry, sir.
That was good.
He is a great kid.
Yeah.
Union County. Cole Wright up there, Union County Panthers. All right.
Breitbart. Want to go there?
Yeah. Let's go there. Let's frame up Breitbart, but let's go. And if you didn't, this was an extra credit, so don't get worried. It will not hurt your grade, okay, Bruce? But did either of you get the chance, while drinking wine and sailing the Caribbean or wherever you were?
Caribbean?
Oh, no, you were.
Caribbean?
Oh, all right. Okay, this is the path. All right, okay. Wherever you're at. Stop. Did you get a chance to watch the 60-minute interview with Bannon?
No.
No.
Okay. Steve Bannon let something slip, I think.
In your humble opinion.
I think it was a great interview with Charlie Rose. I watched all the outtake clips that he put up. I watched every bit of it. But the one thing he let slip that told me that they were never going to do it all along was fix Obamacare. He said fix Obamacare. And I'm here to tell you, I think he let that slip, and I think the bipartisan will be fixing what they call fixing Obamacare, and that concerns me. And he also said that he does not like Mitch McConnell. He said Mitch McConnell, and he thinks their very first meeting at Trump Tower, at the end, looked at Donald Trump and said, "You got to stop all this drain the swamp talk. You got to stop all that." Okay. But then he said something interesting. He said, Mitch McConnell was definitely a problem, and Paul Ryan to a degree. He gave Paul Ryan a little bit of room. Okay. But in that interview, he did not take Trump to task. He is on the outside to, he's going to war. So Breitbart. What you were talking in the break? What do you think?
Well, you just flash on a few home pages, and what I saw last night or this morning, I can't remember which one was. They had a series of pictures up that the Trump base is being destroyed. The Ann Coulters of the world are off the chain, deriding everything that Trump is doing right now. I just don't buy that. Well, and I'm surprised to see it on the front page of Breitbart that, all the Make America Great hats, are being unceremoniously torched and,
Yeah, but doesn't that just make for good news? I mean, stir the pot a little, things are quiet.
Okay.
Let's mess with it.
I call it the left on my desk. And I really think the American people, and I say this in my humble opinion.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like BKP.
I think the American people are going to have to say this. Do you realize what was left on this man's desk? What President Obama, President Clinton, President George W. Bush, but then Obama rounded it out with his beautiful 8 years of, being facetious here. Do you not stop and think of what was left on this man's desk as a mess in this country that has to get cleaned up?
Oh, yeah.
Immigration. How many?
North Korea, Iran.
Do you remember?
Pick your poison.
Exactly. Iran, North Korea. I mean, let's just look at it like this. It's not long ago that Warmbler, was that his name? North Korea killed the kid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Otto Warmbier. Yeah.
Yeah, Otto. I mean, look at what it was on this man's desk. Obamacare. He had on his total shoulders the lies, let's not call it anything else, that Republicans told the American people about repealing Obamacare. So if you want to say, well, Donald Trump got out there and said he will repeal Obamacare. Yes, he was carrying the Republican lie. Would you agree?
I would.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And so you look at all this and what was on his desk. Now, do you remember the night? Do you remember the night that George W. Bush came on TV and gave us his immigration speech, of what his plan to fix the immigration problem in this country? Do you remember the speech?
I remember the speech. I don't remember the night.
But you remember he did come out.
Yes.
And do that, right?
Yes.
I don't. I don't remember it.
All right, you're okay. You're okay. You'll be okay. But you don't remember that Bush did the speech. You don't remember.
Yeah.
You remember Bush came out with a plan.
Yeah, but I don't
right?
remember the content.
I remember the speech. I remember that night coming out with the speech, and he laid everything out, George W. Bush, of how they would have to do this and they would have to do this, and he had everything laid out. Okay, and it blew up on him. All right, and it didn't work. But guess what? That is the point I'm making. That was George W. Bush before Barack Obama, and that is on his desk today. There's nothing been solved on immigration.
Yeah. Go back further. Social Security. It's still a mess.
My opinion on
the debt.
DACA, right? The debt. I mean,
that's a mess.
The debt is a mess. Everything's laid on the guy's desk. So go back to DACA. I think he says, hey, let's get some of these things off my desk, and then I can get some other things done. I don't know.
Well, they followed the right route, like you said before, to put it back to the legislature to have them do what they're supposed to do.
Do it the right way. And I think the end game is he's really looking for a tax cut. He's really looking for tax reform.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. You know, he came out with a little bit of a statement from the airplane, from Air Force One yesterday. I think that's where all of this stuff is pointing, is got to get that done. Got to get that's paramount.
I think there's a plan, and I think there's a big plan, and I don't think Steve Bannon left the White House not knowing the plan.
That's probably true.
Because they still talk. Okay, so you didn't get to hear why Chris Christie did not get a cabinet post?
No.
It's the Billy Bush weekend, okay? And this is the best clip you have to go watch. Billy Bush weekend. The Access Hollywood video comes out. So Trump calls everybody in a room. It's Saturday, I think, or something. He calls them all in a room, okay? And they go around. The core people go around, and Priebus says you're going to get beat in a landslide. He wanted to know what everybody thought of his chances now. So Priebus says you're going to get beat in a landslide. You're gonna get beat. You're gonna get slaughtered. You're gonna get beat in a landslide. I don't see no way out of this. Okay.
Yep.
So everybody's going around giving their opinion. Got the Bannon. Bannon was last. He said, "You will win," and I'm 100%. I'm 100. He asked them to give the percentage of what they thought of his chances of winning. Bannon got to Bannon. Bannon said 100%. He actually said, Bannon said, this is really the only time the president got angry with him. Okay? It got angry. It said, no, are you serious? It said, yes. You have to go after this. You have to come back as hard. You have a 100% chance. So at this time.
What about Christie now?
Well, here we're getting to this. So this time, everybody's a nervous wreck of their political future.
Yeah.
So Bannon has the black book, and he looked at everybody, and he said, plane leaves tomorrow at 11, on the plane, on the team. And he said, quote, he said, Christie didn't make the plane.
Ah.
Period. So Bannon, because at this time Bannon's in charge. Bannon and Kellyanne, they're ready to kick. And Bannon told everybody, because everybody was concerned about their political future, and oh my God, Donald Trump's done this, and should I go on MSNBC for a week and denounce Donald Trump, and you know, and this and that, and.
But he didn't say why he wasn't on the plane. Did that come out in the interview?
Oh yeah, no, it didn't come out in the interview. But if you were watching at that time, Donald Trump, I mean, Christie went and was totally negative on Trump, where, you know, he jumped on the bandwagon of all the politicians that this is unacceptable, you can't talk like
disgraceful.
This. Right.
Okay.
So he jumped on that back. But instead, what I'm saying is Steve Bannon said, plane leaves tomorrow at 11, on the plane, on the team. And he just said Christie didn't make the plane.
What about, speaking of New Jersey, what's going on since we've been away? What's going on with the senator? Menendez?
I don't know. They don't write articles on that. See, he's a Democrat. Washington Post, was it Washington Post or New York Times? They wrote a 900-word article on Robert Menendez in New Jersey, a senator, Democrat. They just forgot to put Democrat in the article. Yes.
Glaring omission.
Yes.
Glaring omission.
Forgot that. You know, I mean, for us, my policy is to put the D the first time you mention a person. So, and then through there, it's up to you to have the smarts, I guess.
So nothing going on with him other than the fact that he's on trial, he's locked in.
They're not going to let him sit in the Senate.
To vote?
Yeah, he tried to get a waiver to let him go vote, and they said no.
So
that
he
got nixed.
There was a lot of fireworks between him and the lawyer. The judge actually told his lawyer to shut up in court.
Nice.
So he can't vote. Okay.
Anything new on Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz? What about her?
No. Don't try to take another direction. I got some other things to do.
What about Susan Rice?
Hey, you got something?
Yeah, big news yesterday.
What was it?
Huge news.
Well, I missed it.
I mean, you know, that
The
everything
unmasking.
that she said was a lie about not
Really?
knowing anything about the unmasking. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
Everything's. I mean, I'm with you, but I'm like, really? I mean, big news.
You got bigger fish to fry.
No, I'm with you on that. I get
We're
to
just
the
trying
point.
to catch up in speed
No,
mode.
no. But you say, what about this big news? Everything she said on the unmasking was a lie? Really?
What'd you expect?
She went on the morning shows and lied, and we have 4 people dead. She lies all the time.
But let me
Yeah.
tell you what's
I mean,
not a lie.
I don't. You understand?
22 wins by the Indians.
That's not a
That
lie.
is not a lie.
That's in the record books. Okay, no, here's one thing. I do not think Steve Bannon left the White House not knowing the plan. Okay? Something here is going to come together. I think what Trump is doing is he's exposing some things that's going to make the Republicans have to go home and answer for in 2018 election. Now, one thing that you should watch is Breitbart is actually putting up candidates, and this is not getting covered by the media. Okay, now are they actually putting them up? I don't know the details, but you take the Pennsylvania 15th district that Charlie Dent just retired from, or said he will not seek his 8th term. Breitbart has a candidate there. There's a Breitbart candidate there. So you're going to start seeing Breitbart's jumped on board with Roy Moore. Okay, Roy Moore will be the next senator from Alabama. Okay, Breitbart is putting in Steve Bannon, aka Breitbart. They are going through, and I'm not for sure that Donald Trump and Steve Bannon do not have this crazy plan that's not understandable to the naked eye. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was it what?
3 steps ahead.
Was there some talk about them maybe starting a network?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Bannon
I mean, that gets a little complicated, but
Bannon said something else of interest that I like, because reality is this is bigger than Donald Trump. If you voted for Donald Trump thinking he could drain the swamp in 8 years, you weren't in reality. And Bannon said in the interview, this is going to take 10, 15, 20 years. Okay? So what we have to realize is Donald Trump will leave office without the swamp drained. He has to start working around all the points. So every time Donald Trump does something and it doesn't have the optics of draining the swamp, it doesn't mean that's not what he's interested in. It is going to take, and like Bannon said, the swamp is 50 years in the making.
Oh, yeah.
And he called the swamp a successful business model on the interview.
Well, yeah, you look at like
Right.
the IRS and some of those agencies, the VA, they try to fire these people, you know, and they have to hire them back because of the civil service rules. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you've already
When they let them unionize?
Yeah, what other industry has those kind of protections?
and we've already seen the firing at the VA, which there was no firing period. We've already had an opportunity to see EPA regulations roll back. I mean, there are things that are happening, and you know, if you're sitting here and DACA's on the man's desk, something has to happen. I mean, they got to do something. Okay, we can't just go from, you know, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and then 7 years from now, put it on somebody else's desk.
Yeah.
Got to do something in this country.
Yep.
So it's on his desk, but you know, the same people that are burning the "Make America Great Again" hat, I wish they would look at West Virginia and coal.
There you go.
Right? I mean, just in this short time, 7 months, that industry has turned around in just a matter of time with EPA and being able to get permits to where they couldn't before. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 2018 has to be Trump 2.0. It has to be. We have to go out. We have to get candidates to support Donald Trump's agenda. We don't have them.
I agree with what you said early on in the show. I watched the first few minutes when you started out, and you said the same people that are sitting having macaroni and cheese or whatever with him are the ones that are going to be first to recommend impeachment.
Nancy Pelosi becomes Speaker of the House. Articles of impeachment will happen the next day, and the bipartisan Democrats that are supporting him now will be the ones that help vote for it. Now, let me say this, okay? We have to have Trump 2.0. Let's put it into sports, okay?
Okay.
Let's do we'll
Love
call it-
sports analogies.
All right,
Here we go.
Soccer for you. Which one you want? Baseball? Or whatever.
Baseball's good.
The point is, the team is losing. They're losing. It's just terrible. Okay? So you hire a new coach. And you tell the coach, go in there, it's your team. Your team. And turn out a winning team for me. And then you go in as the coach, you look around, you say, okay, my defense is lacking. Guess what? I need a new defensive coordinator. Okay? You get the team given to you. All right? It's there when you get there.
Yep.
Okay? And then you turn around and say, there's only so much I can do with this team. I mean, I have the talent. You start to analyze, I have the talent, it's not being coached well. Okay? Is that what's happening here? Or do I not have the proper support staff around me? Is that what's not happening here? Or do I not have the talent no matter how great a coach I am and no matter what happens, okay?
Yeah.
That's what happened to Donald Trump with the Republicans in the Senate and the House. The new coach went in, and the team that was given to him is not interested in playing for him. Now, how many years have you seen if you're either going to play for a coach or you're not? Now, I don't know if it's making any sense, but they're not going to. They were not. The Republicans were not interested for playing for this coach. You agree?
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
They weren't interested.
No.
Yeah.
So what do you got to do? You got to trade them. Trading deadline's coming up. Let's keep it in the book. Trading deadline's coming up 2018, right? 2018 is the trading deadline, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So on that day, you know, when we'll just do it like a sports show. The trading deadline's coming up. So we've got to trade a lot of players, right?
Yeah.
You with me? Bottom line, because we got to go. It's like, you know, but here's what we can't do. We can't bet the whole farm on Ricky Williams, Mike Ditka. I don't know,
boy.
man.
Where did that come from?
It came from New Orleans one year. That's exactly where it came from.
We can't trade all our draft
That's right.
picks.
I'll give you 41 of my best players for Ricky Williams.
And a bag
And a bag, yeah.
of. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
We got to treat the players.
Yeah.
The Republicans are not.
Republicans are a bunch of high-priced individual player prima donnas.
Right.
They don't have a team mode about them. Bruce talks every time we're on this show about the Democrats play as a team, the Republicans play as individuals.
Hey, Republicans are like stay with sports. They're like the sports guy that should be retiring that keeps getting a contract extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not helping the team. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, we can put it in all kinds of, but
Vernaculars.
2018, we have to. What did I say a long time ago? And I know you remember this. That Donald Trump may be the first president, okay, in a party that actually will help put up primary candidates
Yeah.
in his own party and campaign against the incumbent. Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Is it happening?
Well, every time he needs something, he puts around the people that are on the chopping block right next to
Right.
him.
So, all right, we've got to get to our star of the show, Pet of the Week, and I do want to have a couple words on high school football before we close. So, Bruce, tell us a little bit about your trip or what you brought with us today. Or?
We had a great trip, talked to a lot of people from different parts of Europe and other parts of the world. And again, the consensus on Trump, I would say, was pretty good. They said this guy from South Africa said, I like what he's doing, but he's rough. He's like a diamond in the rough, he said. And so that sort of sums up. There were some people that were very afraid of him. Nuclear cowboy kind of warmonger. But by and large, I think most of them are giving him time, wait and see. Because we think he has some good ideas. It's just, can he accomplish things?
So we're not totally disconnected with the world because of Donald Trump?
No.
Good. I really have. I've told people on the show, jokingly, that you guys were on assignment to see where we stood in the world. So thank you for that report, Bruce.
We got no fights or anything. So.
Thank you for that report.
Yeah, I'll save my factoids for next week.
Oh, you can if you want to throw out a fact.
Okay, I'll just give you
us
one.
One, Bruce. Come on.
Bridget-
Everybody's wondering what's in the folder. You can't leave.
Bridget Gabriel does Act for America. She's a very competent gal. She said, what most people don't know about immigration, the refugees, offshore refugees, it's the United Nations that determines which refugees we accept. And incredibly, if these refugees have an affiliation with a terrorist organization, it's not a disqualifier. Come on in.
Come on down.
How stupid is
You
that?
can be the next citizen in Germany. Anyway, we've got two women overseas that are kind of on the hot seat. May and Merkel.
May and Merkel.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Sounds like I can do it.
They're
Commercial.
really
You
on
can
the
do
hot
commercials.
seat.
Yeah.
The other thing that's not being reported over here.
May and you picked that up. May
Absolutely.
and Angela.
Angela
Angela
Merkel.
Merkel and Theresa May.
and Theresa May.
Theresa May.
Theresa May. They picked up on that, and that's headlines all over the place constantly. The other thing that's not being reported over here, which I think is going to be a really tough battle, is the Brexit thing has really thrown the airline industry into some distress because England pulling out, the UK pulling out of Brexit, doing the Brexit move and pulling out of the EU creates all kinds of different issues with landing rights.
Oh, yeah.
And all the airlines over there are on pins and needles wondering what the negotiation is going to be. So that Britain and British Airways and some of the other home-based carriers,
Ryanair,
right,
big one.
are able to go into these other EU countries without repercussion, without some serious penalties. So that's not being reported here, but it's a big deal over there.
Well, we're glad to have you guys back. Glad to have you home. And I know you enjoyed the trip.
We did.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't have
A lot of
anything.
countries in 12 days.
Yep.
We spent 3 days in Russia. Russia was a really interesting place to visit. And you really, it's glaring the two different, the dichotomy of the rich versus the poor, because that's all there are. I don't see any semblance of a middle class over there. Now, I might have missed something.
So you
I
admitted
was
that
only
you
there
were in-
3 days.
You've admitted that you were in Russia for 3 days?
I have.
Yeah.
I've admitted that.
Make a
It's-
note that we
it's on
call
my passport.
Robert Mueller immediately after the show.
Mueller.
Yeah. Yeah. They were there for 3 days. Okay, folks, let me finish with this because this is one you're going to like and not like, and you're either going to stay with me or call me a kook, whichever way you want to go on this.
If you're not on the air,
is it my turn?
if you're not on the airplane, we're not with you. If we're not up there on the airplane.
Hey, look, guys, plane leaves at noon.
That's right.
If you're on the team, you're on
On
the
the
plane.
team. Okay.
All right.
Where are we going?
Okay. Now, if you have been paying attention, because there's always, if all else fails, you've got the Russian collusion / election investigation and Paul Manafort and Michael Flynn. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to leave this with you. Now, Michael Flynn's son, which is also Michael, right, is being looked into with his business ties to Russia and the international business ties that he has. Michael Flynn's son. They're going after Michael Flynn's son and Michael Flynn. Let me tell you why. You ready? What did Michael Flynn's son do?
He's in the pizza business, isn't he?
Is it my damn turn or not?
I'm sorry.
Is it my turn or not? What the hell,
thought you were
McFly?
asking
Get
the
over
question.
there. No, but I
thought
don't
you were
want to
asking
answer.
the question.
Shut the hell up. What did Michael Flynn's son do? By any chance, he tweeted out Pizzagate. Remember? That's what he did. That's what's got him up in arms. And then what did his dad do? He retweeted it. Don't forget that. As you see them take down Michael Flynn's son and Michael Flynn, don't forget two things. When you believe it or not, and you call me out there in left field, Pizzagate. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. I'm your host, BK. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. You
I thought
understand?
you asked the question.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce, you
Thank you,
understand.
Beacon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This one over here, we're going to have a talk. You see he's been away. It's time for Pet of the Week. Let's go.
Ricky Vaughn's going to take us to break.
Yeah, Ricky.
Alrighty.
Over here, dog over there. Okay.
11:30 at Pete's.
Yeah, okay.